All right, so it's late December, you've got time off, and you're wondering what JRPG to actually sink your teeth into during the break. Look, everyone's going to recommend the same 5 games, but I've got 15 picks that most people probably missed half of. We're talking horror that takes place during New Year's week, cozy winter villages, 100-hour epics, and one game where Cthulhu literally fights Krampus. Some are fresh remasters, some left Game Pass and you forgot about them. Let's get into it.
Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve is the only JRPG I know that literally happens during the last week of December. The game starts December 24th, 1997 in New York, ends on the 29th, so you can play it in real time and finish right before New Year's Eve. You're Aya Brea, NYPD, and the opening is insane. You're at the opera at Carnegie Hall, everyone's dressed up, it's snowing, very festive, right? Then the lead actress starts singing and the entire audience spontaneously combusts, just bursts into flames because their mitochondria rebelled. Body horror meets holiday thriller. The city's evacuated, so you're walking through snowy, empty Manhattan with decorations still up, but nobody around. It's eerie as hell. Combat's this hybrid survival horror RPG thing. Resident Evil with an ATB gauge and magic powers. Yoko Shimomura's soundtrack is all opera and cold electronica. Problem is, Parasite Eve is stuck on PS1 and PlayStation Classics. No remake, no remaster. Resident Evil got the full treatment, but this, nothing. If you can emulate it or grab it on PS5, it's perfect. 6 in-game days, you can finish it during the break.
Complete tonal whiplash. We just burned people alive, now we're playing as Cthulhu rescuing Santa from the League of Christmas Evil. Yeah, the title says Christmas, but it's really about winter folklore from all over the world. The Great Old One lost his powers and has to fight through holiday mythology to get them back. Your party is Cthulhu, the Snow Maiden from Russian folklore, a kid version of Baba Yaga, and Belsnickel, this obscure German character. You're fighting Krampus and this Welsh skeletal horse named Mary Lewid. Deep-cut mythology turned JRPG. The writing's genuinely funny. Cthulhu complains the entire time, fourth wall breaks everywhere. It's got this relationship system, like Persona social links, but for cosmic horror. The pixel art looks SNES era, and the whole thing's 4 to 5 hours. Complete JRPG arc in one afternoon. It's on Steam and Switch, dirt cheap, and nobody takes it seriously. But if you want a funny, bite-sized holiday JRPG that respects your time, this is it.
Going old school. Secret of Mana, 1993. Specifically the Ice Country chapter. This game has the darkest Santa story in gaming history. You get to this frozen region and you meet Santa. Not a guy dressed as Santa, actual Santa Claus. He's got a house, delivers presents, the whole deal. But kids stopped believing in him. So Santa got desperate and stole a mana seed of fire to grow this massive tree and make them believe again. Except the seed's power corrupted him, and now he's the Frost Gigas, this hulking ice monster you fight as a boss. After you beat him, there's this animation where the Frost Gigas shrinks back into a sad, regretful Santa. It's heartbreaking. The game just drops this about loss of innocence and then moves on. The Ice Country looks beautiful. Hiroki Kikuta's soundtrack uses high-pitched chimes that sound like icicles. The pixel art of the frozen forest is iconic. The 3D remake butchered the atmosphere, though. You want the SNES original, available via Collection of Mana on Switch and PS4. Play it for the Santa subplot alone.
4. I Am Setsuna. From sad Santa to a game that is sadness. I Am Setsuna. World locked in eternal winter. No summer, no spring, just snow everywhere, forever. Tokyo RPG Factory made this as a Chrono Trigger love letter. You're a mercenary escorting Setsuna, a girl chosen to be sacrificed to appease demons. It's a pilgrimage to the end of the world with this melancholic, bittersweet tone. The Japanese word setsunai means beautiful sadness, and the game nails it. The soundtrack is entirely solo piano, No orchestra, no guitars, just one piano. Tomoki Miyoshi composed it. The winter breeze sounds like walking through a quiet, snowy forest at dusk. The sound design is insane too. Footsteps in snow change pitch depending on depth. You hear the crunch. It's so tactile. Combat's ATB 2.0, basically Chrono Trigger with ice effects everywhere. But you're not playing for mechanics, you're playing for atmosphere. Perfect for a quiet, snowy evening when you want something contemplative. Came out 2016, got decent reviews, but nobody talks about it. Overshadowed by Octopath and the HD 2D craze. But if you want winter that feels like winter, this is it.
Number 5. Grandia. After all that cold and sadness, let's talk warmth. Grandia, 1997. Optimistic adventure game. Most of it's jungles and ruins, but there's one section that's pure cozy perfection. Lane Village. High-altitude village surrounded by snow and mountains, inhabited by these bullmen. Yeah, the wise men are literal bulls. And it's where you reunite with Milda, this powerhouse warrior, and her husband, Darlin, who's one of these bullmen. Adorable setup. Throughout the game, when you rest at an inn or camp, you get dinner scenes. Camera pans around the table, fires crackling. The party just talks. They discuss fears, dreams, what they ate. It's wholesome. In Lane Village, you get this dinner with Milda and Darlin, and it's the warmest family gathering during holidays vibe I've felt in a game. Visually, Grandia uses 2D sprites in rotating 3D worlds. The idle animations are incredible. You see characters breathing in cold air. The music in Lane is slow and comforting with woodwinds. Got an HD remaster in 2019, but it's buggy and most people missed it. On Switch and PS4, worth it just for Lane Village and those dinner scenes.
Number 6. Earthbound. Earthbound's weird for a winter list because most of it isn't winter. But the winter's chapter? That's the vibe. You're suddenly controlling Jeff, genius kid at Snowwood boarding school. He gets this telepathic call for help from friends he's never met, and he breaks out to cross this snowy wasteland. Just Jeff alone, well, him and his roommate Tony, who has this emotional goodbye, traversing frozen lakes, fighting T-Rexes at Stonehenge, teaming up with a bubble monkey who floats him across Lake Tess. Surreal and charming. The music sells it. Snowman is one of the most beloved tracks in gaming. Keiichi Suzuki and Hirokazu Tanaka made this gentle lullaby melody that sounds muffled through a winter coat. Been remixed in Smash and Mother 3, but the SNES original has this lo-fi quality that's perfect. The whole section feels like start of winter break, empty dorms, anticipation of leaving, cold outdoors. Jeff's journey from school safety into the weird, dangerous world is quintessential Earthbound. Mother 3 never got official English release. Series is weirdly neglected by Nintendo, but Earthbound's on Switch Online, so if you've got the subscription, no excuse.
Number 7. Dragon Quest XI-S. Dragon Quest XI, ultimate comfort food JRPG. 80 hours of traditional turn-based combat, Akira Toriyama's art, episodic storytelling that feels like a bedtime story. Perfect for a long holiday break. For the winter angle, Sniffelheim, the Winter Kingdom. Nordic architecture, ice castles, thick fur coats on NPCs, Aurora Borealis lighting the sky. Gorgeous. The game's got this camp mechanic where the party gathers around a fire. In snow regions, watching them huddle near flames while you craft gear with the fun-size forge, peak Haiga. The whole game is pleasant, not edgy, not dark, just genuinely good, earnest adventure. Pacing's relaxed, characters are likable. You can lose days exploring and doing side quests. Dragon Quest XI-S was on Xbox Game Pass, but cycled out December 2022. It pops up on sales, but by late 2025, you're probably buying outright. Worth it though. Switch version's best for portability, PC version looks stunning. If you want one massive, cozy JRPG for the entire holiday, this is it. Just be ready. 80 hours is no joke, but it's 80 hours of pure comfort.
Number 8. Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. Ni no Kuni is basically an interactive Ghibli movie. Animation by Ghibli, music by Joe Hisaishi, who did Spirited Away. Story about a boy trying to save his mother by mending broken hearts. Sentimental as hell, and it works. For winter, there's Yule, town of Tomte, these fluffy snow creatures. Yule's perpetual winter, and to enter, you wear these thick parka. That visual change carries into battles, so you're fighting in full winter gear the whole time. Town's got igloos, warm lights, leads into glittering grotto, ice dungeon where crystals reflect light like ornaments. Mr. Drippy, your Welsh fairy sidekick, complains about the cold constantly. His voice acting is hilarious. Whole section feels like a cozy winter escape. Ni no Kuni was still on Xbox Game Pass as of mid-2024, with an extension in March. Check if it's still there by late 2025. The game got overshadowed by bigger RPG releases, and a lot of people wrote it off as just for kids. But it's genuinely charming, and Yule is one of the coziest towns in any JRPG.
Number 9. Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars came out in 2023 as this love letter to Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG. Pixel art, timed hits in combat, two protagonists, Zale and Valere, who are the children of the solstice, one's summer, one's winter. Whole game's built around that duality. The Glacial Peak dungeon is gorgeous. Sliding ice puzzles, snowball mechanics, and this crisp, clean aesthetic that feels modern despite the retro pixel art. The winter sections really pop. In November 2024, Sea of Stars got the Dawn of Equinox patch, which added 3-player local co-op. You can now play the entire campaign with 2 other people on the couch. That transforms it from a solo adventure into a communal holiday activity, perfect for siblings or partners during the break. Sea of Stars left PlayStation Plus Extra in August 2024, though. If you were counting on finding it there, you're out of luck. It's purchase only now, but honestly, worth the price. The co-op alone makes it a top-tier holiday gift for yourself or someone else.
Lunar Remastered Collection. This came out in April 2025, so by year's end, it's still relatively fresh. This collection includes Silver Star Story and Eternal Blue, 2 beloved 90s RPGs that were on Sega CD and PlayStation, now on PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox, and Steam, with widescreen and enhanced audio. Lunar is defined by warmth. The romance between Alex and Luna in Silver Star and Hiro and Lucia in Eternal Blue is front and center. It's not dark, not cynical, just genuinely romantic and wholesome. Luna's a songstress, and music is literally magic in this world, which gives the game this winter concert vibe. The remaster includes a brand new track by original composer Noriyuki Iwadare called Looking Up at Terra, which bridges the gap between the 2 games. The 90s anime cutscenes are remastered too, and they've got that Saturday morning cartoon nostalgia that hits hard. Visually, the iconic boat scene, Alex playing the harp for Luna on the water, is pure romantic coziness. It's the kind of scene you show someone when you're trying to explain why you love JRPGs. Lunar's been in licensing hell for decades. Working designs went under, the series bounced between publishers, and a lot of younger players have never heard of it. This remaster is the first time in ages that Lunar's been easily accessible on modern hardware.
Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler is the game that invented the HD 2D style, pixel art characters in Unreal Engine lighting, and nowhere does that style look better than in the Frostlands. The starting town, Flames Grace, is buried in snow, and the particle effects of snowflakes catching the light create this snow globe diorama effect. It's stunning. The character tied to this region is Ophelia, a cleric of the Order of the Sacred Flame. Her story is a pilgrimage, carrying a holy light through dark caves and cathedrals. That narrative of bringing light through darkness feels perfect for the darkest days of winter. Combat's traditional turn-based with a break system, and the soundtrack's fantastic. The whole game's got this episodic structure where you pick one of 8 travelers and experience their personal story. It's modular, so you can play as much or as little as you want. Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 were scheduled to leave Xbox Game Pass in late 2025. If you're reading this at year's end and they're still there, grab them now. Once they're gone, you're buying them outright. Game Pass giveth and Game Pass taketh away. Octopath's been on and off the service, and it's frustrating. 12. Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 Royal is a 100+ hour commitment, but if you're looking for one game to dominate your entire holiday break, this is it. The calendar system means the holidays are an actual in-game event. You celebrate New Year's at the shrine with your party, there's the winter season in Tokyo with snow-covered streets, and the dialogue changes throughout December and January. Royal added this entire new arc from January to February called the third semester, and during that time, Tokyo is covered in snow. Areas like Shibuya and Yongan-jaya look completely different under snowfall. The narrative deals with an ideal reality where everyone's happy, and you have to decide if that false happiness is worth it. It's heavy, philosophical, and it resonates with the pressure to be happy during the holidays. The music track, So Happy World, is deceptively cheerful but has this underlying melancholy that's perfect for the tone. Plus, you literally play through New Year's in-game, which is perfect timing if you're playing during the actual holiday week. Persona 5 Royal is so long that most people never finish it. They get 60 hours in, burn out, and never see the third semester. But if you've got 2 weeks off, you can marathon it.
Number 13. Metaphor Refantasio. Metaphor Refantasio is Atlas's answer to high fantasy. Came out late 2024, and by May 2025, it hit Xbox Game Pass. So as of late 2025, it's still a headline title on the service. The hook is the Gauntlet Runner, this magical armored vehicle that's your mobile base. As you travel between towns, you're cooking, reading books, cleaning the runner. It's basically a road trip, and it captures that feeling of traveling during the holidays. The northern regions, like Everfrost Forest, provide the winter visuals, and the UI is designed like storybook paintings. It's gorgeous. Combat's a hybrid of Persona's press turn and real-time action. You've got archetypes instead of personas, and the job system is deep. But the real appeal is the journey, the camaraderie of the party, the discussions on the runner, the sense of moving forward. Metaphor came out during a crowded JRPG year. Dragon Quest III HD 2D, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PC, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It's an incredible game, but it got buried in the noise. The fact that it's on Game Pass now is huge, though. If you've got the subscription, you're playing one of the best JRPGs of the decade for free.
Number 14. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth launched on PS5 in 2024, but the PC version came out on January 23, 2025. By late 2025, it's fully patched, moddable, and probably on its first big holiday sale. If you want the tech showcase of this list, it's Rebirth. The game doesn't have explicit winter themes, but the journey north is massive. You're crossing continents, exploring open zones, and the sheer scale of the world makes it a blockbuster experience. The gold saucer date in Chapter 12 is the holiday festival equivalent. Ferris wheels, plays, fireworks. It's the emotional high point of the game. What makes Rebirth perfect for the holidays is its length and scope. You can sink 60 to 80 hours into this easily. It's the kind of game where you start playing during the break and don't stop until you're back to work or school. The camaraderie of the party, the exploration, the mini-games, it's designed to be immersive. On PC, you're looking at 4K 120 FPS if your rig can handle it. It's the definitive way to experience the game, and modders are already adding quality of life tweaks. Rebirth is part 3 of a trilogy that's not finished yet. You're investing in an incomplete story, and we won't get part 3 until probably 2027 or later. But as a standalone experience, Rebirth is incredible.
15. Star Ocean: The Second Story R. Star Ocean: The Second Story R came out in 2023, and it's got this unique visual style. 2D pixel characters in photorealistic 3D environments. Weird hybrid, but it works beautifully in the snowy regions.
North City is a futuristic metropolis in a frozen wasteland. The neon lights reflect off the snow and ice, creating this cyberpunk winter aesthetic that's unlike anything else on this list. Prince Bridge adds a snowy university town vibe. The lighting engine makes these areas pop in a way that's genuinely stunning. Combat's real-time action, and the game's got over 100 different endings, depending on your choices and party composition. It's massively replayable, and the private actions, side events where you interact with party members are charming. Square Enix games typically see deep discounts by their second holiday season. By late 2025, the second story R is probably 40–50% off. That makes it a solid pickup. Star Ocean as a franchise has been inconsistent though. The series peaked with second story, then the later entries were hit or miss. A lot of people wrote off the franchise entirely. This remake is genuinely great, but it's flying under the radar because the Star Ocean brand doesn't have the same pull as Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. So, there you go. 15 JRPGs for your holiday break. Some are horror, some are cozy, some are massive 100-hour epics, and one of them is about Cthulhu fighting Krampus. The year-end break is perfect to catch up on games you missed or dive into something new. Check if Octopath's still on Game Pass. It was scheduled to leave late 2025. Ni no Kuni might still be there too. Sea of Stars left PS Plus, but the co-op update makes it worth buying. And if you want the freshest classic, Lunar Remastered just dropped this year. Persona 5 Royal actually lets you play through New Year's in-game, which is perfect timing. What are you playing during your holiday break? Let me know in the comments, and if I missed any winter JRPGs you love, call me out. See you in the next one.